first
Tu veux pas qu'on fasse
Reuters, une seconde. Non, pour Reuters, she's
Poverty is still very high. We're talking about informality rates in peace.
Yeah, so the global unemployment rate is at 5%, stable from last year, and actually historically at the lowest point over the last 30 years. We have never had an unemployment rate so low. We see stability over the next 18 months. We're talking about 187 million unemployed, and that slightly declines by 500,000 until the end of next year, but on account of a slower or lower labor force participation rate.
Slightly declines by 500,000 until the end of next year, but on account of
the stability hides enormous heterogeneity across countries, and in particular it hides the fact that we don't see any progress of the last 10 years. Since 2015, not much has happened, especially in low-income countries where informality and working poverty is still very high. We're talking about informality rates in these countries of 80%, and working poverty of around 240 million people worldwide.
骑自行车不太会，骑电动车，骑自行。
对啊，我们这他那个公司呢，
Yeah, youth unemployment rate is always much higher than the one for adults. We're talking about a youth unemployment rate of 12.6%. Again, a stability for young people, but importantly, again, this heterogeneity across countries we see, especially in upper middle income countries, very high rate, higher than ever before, simply because with COVID, a lot of young people could not find their way back into employment, and they're still stuck at this problem. And in particular, we see a lot of young people actually dropping out of the labor market. They're not in employment and they're not in education and training either, which makes it much more complicated for these young people to enter back the labor market at the later stage. We're talking about this need rate of 20% globally, and in some countries even much higher than that.
And these new forms of large language models actually bring to the labor force and to the labor market.
So for the moment, the baseline projection is stability. We see, on the back of stable growth, we see also a stable global unemployment rate. But the uncertainty is very high, and so we actually mentioned that in the report that the uncertainty around the outlook is very important. And obviously, we have the discussion around global trade. We have climate changes hitting us more and more, and we have the problem around that we don't know yet what the technological change, in particular AI and these new forms of large language models, actually bring to the labor force and to the labor market outlook.
Stability, we see, on the back of stable growth, we see also stable. Just need a glass of water, sorry.